Black Friday, and it sucks. Black Friday sucks. That's going to be the title of the episode. Yeah, I am not a huge fan of Black Friday. I never have been, and I know that's not a uncommon stance on Black Friday, and I get that. I'm not the first person on the internet to be upset about Black Friday or not like it, but I'm going to give you some actual bullet points of why I don't like Black Friday. Right out of the gate, the first thing that I don't like about Black Friday is I think this is truly an American thing. This is an American idea. And I've heard throughout the years that Europe has adopted it. Other countries are starting to do Black Friday type deals and things with that in their stores. And this is the issue that I have with Black Friday. It's always created this idea that there's no break in between the holidays. Now, we've always kind of had this setup. It's been this way for God knows how long, where it is Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Those are the holidays in order, and that's always been the pecking order, which is totally fine. This is something we're used to. But somewhere along the line, somebody thought, okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's do what we've been doing. But that Friday, everybody's got the day off anyway. Let's just chop prices on a bunch of different crap, and then see what happens. People will come to our stores. Nothing bad could happen. Little did they know that we and look, I'm not judging anybody for wanting to get a great deal on a product. I do it too. If anybody that's known me personally knows, I am a cheap ass. So if there's any way for me to get the best deal, the cheapest deal, I'm going to go out and do it. It is just human nature to save money. You get a rush from it. It's this weird sort of high you get when you get something 50% off. Maybe not even that. Maybe even just 30% off. You get a rush. And I was like, oh man, I can't believe I got this. Prime example, I bought Rainbow Six Siege for like $18. I've been wanting to play that game forever. I've been waiting for a sale. It was like $18. I bought it, and I was like, yeah, I can't wait to play it. Still haven't been able to play it. Talking to you, Gomez, still waiting for you to play. Oh, I've got a job and responsibilities. Excuses. So I'm not here to judge people on the idea that they want to get a great deal. Everybody wants that. There was just somewhere along the line, people got just absolutely insane over this day. And I'm going to jokingly call it a holiday. It's not actually a holiday, but we've sort of made it into one. We've made it into an event. At the very least, made it seem like it's a very important day. And I don't know where the switch happened. As far as I know, Black Friday's been around my whole life. Now, I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody will mention that it hasn't been around forever. I'm sure it hasn't. But people have been trampled and severely injured, and people have died over a freaking TV. And again, I totally get the idea of like getting a 4K TV for dirt cheap. That's awesome. But never did I think I'm going to just throw an elbow or I'm going to knock somebody out to get this TV. I will do that. I will drop someone. Never in my life have I thought about doing that. And I think a majority of people do, but there's something weird about Black Friday where people just give into their primal nature to get a sweet deal. And I think, we could go deeper into it, and I don't want to do that, but we could go deeper into it and say, oh, well, it's because it's the consumerism of Christmas and how we value what Christmas means to everybody, this, that, and the other thing. Absolutely, that's part of the argument. And I think that is the main cause. But what are we doing? I just don't understand the need to do that. My mom did it a few times. She doesn't do it anymore. At least I don't think. I don't keep tabs on her. I should probably call her right now and see if she does it. And I'll get to that later. I did go with her one time. But my mom and my aunts used to do that for Christmas. And it was a weird thought because it's really, I haven't ran into this per se. Like, I haven't ran into the extreme that made it look like a war zone, but I've been in situations where I'm like, good God, what am I doing here? I think I've gone Black Friday shopping a grand total of maybe 2 times. I know for sure, I remember one, but if I do it another time, I don't remember it that well. But my goodness, it is crazy, man. All for Christmas gifts. It's crazy. And I think this is what I love about America and what I love about being an American. Being an American, for me, means that we can take something as simple as just a one-day thing where everything is cheap and make it this big event, make it over the top, and in some bad cases hurt each other. But I just love the idea that we take something and make it so much bigger than what it needs to be. I do love that that's what we can do as Americans. On the flip side of that, I'm also not above it to think that this is really, really silly, and we should really reevaluate how we treat our loved ones and our friends, because I guarantee you, if you don't get that gift for that person, they're not going to care. Because you know what? They love you anyway. At least I would hope that's how they think. They think of you is, it's okay that you didn't get that gift. Because that's not what the holidays are about. So that, I think, in and of itself is the real issue with Black Friday. I know I said I wouldn't dive into that, but I guess I did, so what do I know? My other big problem I have with Black Friday, and it's happened, I think it's ramped up the last few years. It could have been there before, but I definitely know the last 5-6 years it's ramped up. It cuts into Thanksgiving. It can take away Thanksgiving for employees of these big stores, these big chains. And I don't agree with that at all. Open the store early if you want. If you really want to get those shoppers early and you really want to make those deals, open the stores at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m., 6 a.m., however early you want to open them. Hell, even open them at midnight. I don't care, because at that point, nobody's going to be having dinner with their family. It's midnight. I think that's fair game. But you're seeing it worse and worse. You're seeing stores open at 2 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day for Black Friday deals. And I'm not okay with that. You have to draw a line somewhere, especially in a retail job. No matter how much your manager wants to make it out to be, no retail job is really that important at all. And this is someone who's worked in retail for many years. I can easily tell you that it is not that important, and it's definitely not important enough to pull people from their families. I was lucky enough when I worked in retail, I worked at party stores, and so our big Black Friday stuff happened in October. We were all about Halloween, and that's where we made all of our money, and it was a big deal. So I never really had to work Black Friday and had to worry about that stuff. But I can only imagine what the people are going, other people in retail go through with the silliness of Black Friday. Because I would love to think the logic to open a store at say 2 or 3 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day, where most of these people are already either at family dinner or going to family dinner. The only justification I could see to a store being open on Thanksgiving Day would be a grocery store, limited hours, but I could see that happening because you need to get last minute items for the dinner. That I'm not as crazy, I'm not as angry about, because that's the one that to me that makes sense. But what is the purpose of having, say, like a JCPenney's be open at 2 p.m.? Because who's your demographic if you're JCPenney's? It's usually what, middle-aged moms? Before I get any tweets, just kidding, I don't get tweets. Before I get any angry comments on YouTube or wherever, I shop at JCPenney's, okay? But I'm just letting you know that I'm not their target demographic. Their target demographic is older females, and guess what they're going to be doing? They're going to be eating dinner with their families, or going to be eating dinner. You know what I mean? Yes, you could vary when you have Thanksgiving dinner. Some people do it during noon, some people do it in dinner, whatever. Point is, there is no reason for a store like Macy's or JCPenney's to be open that early. Hell, there isn't even a reason for GameStop to be open at even 5 p.m. What? I mean, first of all, who really does shop at GameStop? And second of all, why? Why would you? And that's what I think really boils down to. And I wrote the article about it, that there just seems to be a gap. There seems to be Halloween and Christmas, and then in between is, oh, we'll have some turkey, and then risk the war zone to get some gifts for our family. Doesn't make any sense to me. We've taken that value out of Thanksgiving, and I think it is a valuable holiday. I think it's great to I joked about putting that aside, but if that does come up about it, I think it's important as a family you have those arguments with each other over politics, or you have those things that bring you together as a family. I think, and this is going to sound conservative, it sounds like an angry old conservative guy, but I think we've lost a family value in society. There's been something where the family dynamic has changed. And maybe it's just me getting older. And look, I'm guilty of it too. I don't visit my mom nearly enough. I don't visit family as much as I should. And that just happens to be my work schedule or whatever excuse I can think of right now. But there's something along the way where we've kind of taken that out and made that not as important as we should in society. And I think we should get back to that. And I think this idea of this Black Friday event, whatever you want to call it, I think that is the big issue that we've always had. And I think when we can start pulling back on that, honestly, Pandora's box has been opened. Black Friday isn't going to go anywhere. Black Friday is always going to be there because people are always going to want to buy gifts for their families and for Christmas. But we've got to do something, and somebody has to take a stand. GameStop was great for this because a few years ago, they did take a stand where they weren't open on Thanksgiving. And then they went back on it because they want to make more money. Because apparently they think there's more money in being open at 5 or 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving night. It's not... This is probably the biggest reason why people don't shop at retail stores anymore. Because of these, and why people don't want to work there anymore, because it's so unimportant, and you don't usually care about this stuff. You know, I mean, like the managers, you can have really good managers, you can have bad managers in retail, but only on one day of the year do they really think, hey man, we're important. You're gonna do your job. You're somebody. And any other day of the year, they're gonna treat you like crap and not hold you any value. But that one day, they act like you're important. You are not important. I'm sorry. The individual that has that job is very much somebody and important. But that job in and of itself, that store in and of itself, is nothing. It's just the way it's going to be. Even if there wasn't an Amazon or any online presence for shopping, I would never think that those stores hold any value to anything other than to buy me some jeans or a t-shirt. Or if I'm going to GameStop, a game. So we have to sit back and reevaluate. Yes, Black Friday will never leave us. But we cannot have it invade... It sounds so silly. We cannot have it invade Thanksgiving. You just cannot do that. Let these people have at least one freaking day with their families. And then when Friday rolls around, you can work them ragged and ruin their life that day. But at least give them a chance to eat some freaking turkey with their families. Or ham, or whatever you use to celebrate Turkey Day. I kind of mentioned a little bit before, but my other point is that just shop online. A lot of these Black Friday deals are on their websites. Or the Cyber Monday that, coming up. Do that. Don't risk hurting other people. Well, I hope that most people that listen to this wouldn't hurt other people in this scenario. But don't risk yourself getting hurt to try and please someone. It's not worth it. Do it online. It's so much easier. It takes a lot less time. You don't have to wait in line. Do it all online, dude. Come on. And finally, I want to kind of put a cap on this topic with talking about my personal Black Friday experience. I did go shopping on a Thanksgiving night. I come from Nebraska City. Shout out to Nebraska City, to all the meth heads listen to me there. Visiting my mom for Thanksgiving dinner, and after dinner, her and some other my aunts decided to go to the local Walmart and do some Black Friday shopping. I went with her because my whole thing was like, I always tell my mom, I'm at a certain point in my life where you could, it's that old joke of when you're in your 20s, when you realize those practical gifts that you got, like underwear and socks that you hated as a kid, you truly value now as an adult. That's where I was at mentally, and that's where I always will be. It's like, Mom, you don't need to buy me really anything, and though there's some things here and there that I'll send to her, I'm not going to lie, but I just went for fun, just to see what her kind of tactics are. And that was as far as I can remember, my only experience with Black Friday. And it wasn't as crazy as I thought it was going to be, but I'm just thinking of the scale of it. Nebraska City, if you've never been there, it's only a population of about 7,000 people conservatively. It's being very conservative. I think those numbers have dropped a lot. But it was not as crazy as I thought it would be. There was a lot of people there. It was very, very crowded. A lot of people. And that, I think, is where the epiphany really hit me, where I was like, this is so not worth it. Mom, if you really want to buy me something, I could send you a link on Facebook. I could Facebook message you a link or something. Just get anything you need from me to get it online. Although I did get a Macho Man action figure. That was pretty sweet. And a toy belt, because I'm a child. But there was something about just having that experience and being in that moment when I was like, yeah, this is never something that I want to do for my kids, or this is never something I want to do for Ashley. If I'm going to shop for Ashley, I'm going to waste till the last possible minute, because that's just who I am. But yeah, it's just not, it was such a weird environment to be in, because people were still trying to be polite to me, because we're in the Midwest, but you could tell there was like this look of soldiers going into battle. Like these moms and these dads, they were gonna get the gifts. They were there for one thing. And then I had this thing that popped in my head, because I don't know how old these kids are, but they're all gonna vary in age, and you're all gonna think, so you're trying to tell me you gotta have your grandparents stay at your parents stay at the house to watch your kids so you can go shopping, and then you're gonna have to wrap these things immediately and hide them from your kids for another month. Good luck, man. More power to you, because I honestly don't know how my mom did it for all these years, especially with my brother. My brother was evil, man, because he knew how to cut the tape open, check what's in the wrapping, and then close it. To me, I was like, why do that? It takes away the fun of it. It takes away the surprise. But yeah, I wish that was more of an exciting story, but I think that was my only ever Black Friday experience, and probably my last. I'm not going to rule anything out, but if I were a betting man, I would say it would be my last, for sure.